If you have a desire and you believe that desire, then it is, because there's no separation in your vibration. You want it, you expect it, you're offering one signal, and in very short order, you're going to allow it into your experience. The things that you call beliefs, even the things that you call core beliefs, are only vibrations that you've been offering for a long enough period of time that you've attracted a certain amount of evidence around them that has caused you now to form a very strong expectation. And the reason that they feel like core beliefs is because they remain stable in your experience. In other words, you've believed it, life shows itself to you in that way, so you come to just believe it. We want to shake things up a little bit by explaining to you that just because you see a lot of evidence of something, and just because it is considered to be truth, because it's documented and evidenced by scientific surveys or by historical documents, or even by large numbers of people who answer the polls that say, yes, this is the way that it is, we want you to come around to understanding that just because something is true doesn't mean that it deserves your attention. We want you to set a new criteria for what you give your attention to. And we would like that new criteria to be the same criteria that your source uses, which is, how does it feel when you give your attention to it? A belief. A belief. I believe, you say. I believe that there are people on the planet who can do anything. I believe that there are people who have cancer. Maybe both true statements within your belief system. But when you add the criteria of how it feels when you activate the belief, now you have a new reason to focus differently, don't you? And this is the way you get to utterly core beliefs. In other words, the corest of the core beliefs is that you are a magnificent and worthy being and that life should be good for you. That is a core belief. And when you deviate from it, you feel the separation in your vibration. You don't feel so good, you see. Yes. A core belief is that life is supposed to be good for you. A core belief is that you are a creator. As you and almost everybody else you know responds to the environment around you rather than to the way you're resonating within, what happens is you begin to beat the drum of thoughts that are not serving you very well, but because everybody else is beating the drum, and you sometimes consciously don't want to be the odd one out, so you do it. But humans have accepted so many beliefs that are detrimental to their experience. We don't care at all what your beliefs are. We're not interested. We have not been interested ever in changing one person's belief about anything. What we are interested in doing is helping you find alignment with what your life has caused you to carve out for you, because we know that this environment is large enough that everyone on the planet can satisfy their personal individual desires without getting in anybody else's way, because there is not a finite amount of resources that is available that's being divvied up. When you become abundant, you don't deprive anyone of abundance. When you become healthy, you don't deprive anyone of health. The resources are expanding in proportion to the desire that is happening because of the contrast that you are living, you see. You are where you are, and that's what a belief is. You are where you are. Now what? And so with the navigational system in your vehicles, the system automatically acknowledges where you are. You program in where you're going. The system knows where you are. But then the route immediately begins to be calculated from where you are to where you want to go. And that's the way your guidance system works too. You spend no time beating the drum of where you are, because where you are keeps changing. It's an interesting thing with those guidance systems. It knows where you want to be, and it knows where you are, and it keeps knowing where you are. No matter where you are, it keeps knowing where you are, because where you are is where you are. And what happens with so many humans, because they are aware that they are not yet where they want to be, and they are so aware of where they are in relationship to where they want to be, that then they spend lifetimes trying to explain how they got to where they are, which just makes them stay where they are longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. Where you are is where you are is where you are is where you are. So what? You're always somewhere on your way, and when you get your eye on where you're going, then the current beliefs don't matter so much. If you could get the desire factor really really reverberating, and the where I am factor not reverberating so much, you'd move faster to where you want to be. But we think it's this need to justify. We really believe that what happens with so many people, the reason that more people do not fixate on where they're going and envision where they're going, but instead continue to beat the drum of where they are, is because they feel like they have to justify to the universe how bad it is where they are, thinking that if they can plead a needy enough case, that the universe will feel sorry for them and yield to them what they are wanting. And we say, the universe doesn't respond like that. We encourage you to amplify where you are going.